All right. For this lecture, we're going to talk about the Assets tab. And easy to get to. If you go up here and click on Assets, you'll see the assets. And basically, assets, you can define file size, compression, etc. For file management, most of the time, well, all the time, you'll agree with the sample rate with the developer. And it's typically 44 16-bit or 48 24-bit. And so if I click on a audio file here, to set the compression, all you do is click on the green box here. And over here you have a pull-down menu which says Vorbis, FAD, PCM, and PCM. And basically PCM is pulse code, I can't talk today, pulse code modulation. And it's a standard digital audio format, CD quality. The files tend to be very large when you're using something like that. Vorbis, or OGG, is free open container file format designed for efficiency streaming. OGGs are loopable, whereas MP3s are not loopable because they typically add a little bit of time at the end of an MP3. And there's no compression, they're compressed and they're much better for video games, especially UI sounds when you want to trigger something quickly. And then FAD PCM is the newer format that's developed by Firelight, and they're the creator of FMOD. And it's reported to have twice the speed and better compression and higher fidelity than OGG. Again, you're going to have to discuss this with your game developer. So if I wanted to turn my childhood stinger into a Vorbis, which it already is, actually, I can go FAD PCM, just click on it, and notice that it will automatically do it. The other button you have over here is compressed, decompressed, and streaming. And compressed, if a PC has to uncompress a file, it takes a long time to do it. So just be aware of that. Typically, you use compressed or files for streaming where it doesn't have to load the entire thing bit at a time. Decompressed file is for UI sounds, quick sounds. And so if I wanted this is a childhood stinger, so I would probably use it as a decompressed file. And then streaming file, again, same thing. If you have like a long intro melody or something that is playing while a player's in a certain room, the program will load a little bit at a time. It won't load the entire file. So let's go back up to our stinger, and you can also notice that it tells you once you've done it, once you've changed it. I'm actually going to put this back to compressed, or actually, let's go to Vorbis. Now, if you notice, it says quality 37%, and you're like, oh, I don't know, 37% not good. Basically, they've done studies, FMOD's done studies, and 37% is just fine. Although it's kind of funny, if you show up for work at 37%, you probably will get fired, but not in the video game world. And as far as the file format, again, I've said it once before, you're going to talk to the people who are making the game, and you'll decide what file format they want to use. And you can change it using the assets folder. For a PS4 video game where you have a lot of RAM at your disposal, WAV files or WAV files, WAV files are fine. For mobile games, you're going to want to use OGG files. And usually in a game, you're going to use a combination of several different file formats. And you'll figure this out with the game developer. To add a folder, very simple. If you want to put these things into a folder, all you have to do is control-click on a Mac or right-click on a PC and create new folder. So you might, call this folder Stingers, and you can just drag your files right into the folder, and there it is. You've created a folder with Stingers. So that's pretty much all there is to assets. Well, assets are, the assets tab is great for, like I said, defining file size, compression, etc., etc. Next, we're going to move on to multi sounds, how to work with those.